Hey, I'm here for Mike Lee event number 3 at Ivory Ridge Swim and Tennis Club. I guess this is the good life here.
U.S. Senate campaign. It's hardly a traditional message for a political candidate seeking federal office. Well, I think we can all now appreciate what happens when you have a Congress and a president that thinks the federal government is all powerful. We get to the point where we were 2 weekends ago, where Congress has now assumed power to itself, a type of power that Congress has never in the past exercised. A power that says, we can tell you you have to purchase a product that you might not want, and we can tell you not only do you have to buy it as a matter of federal law, but if you don't buy it, you will suffer severe penalties under federal law, initially fines and eventually prison time if you refuse to buy it. That's a pretty significant intrusion on our freedom, on our liberty. Not only that, to do with our constitutional obligation in Congress to oversee national security, national defense. And they were there to take out military targets, that is, targets that present a clear and present danger to the national security of the United States and to the individual security of Americans. And if we can't do that, if we ever get to the point in Iraq or Afghanistan or anywhere else where we might send them in an armed conflict type situation, we need to end that conflict situation and we need to start bringing them home. Because we're not there to nation build. We're not there to foster self-esteem in budding republics. We're not there to deliver meals on wheels. We're not there even to deliver supplies to orphanages in Afghanistan, as worthy as that cause may be. My wife has a cousin who lost both of his eyes a few weeks ago in Afghanistan while delivering, as I understand it, supplies to one orphanage. Good cause. But that's not what our armed forces are there for. They're there to take out military targets. I'm not privy to the same intelligence reports that U.S. senators get or that the president gets. But when I'm elected, I will be. And when I start getting those reports, that's what I'll be looking for. Are we there to take out military targets? As long as we are, I'm fine with leaving them there until those targets are gone. But once they're gone, we need to start exercising planning and then executing an exit plan. Yes?
Can you clarify, you say if we ever get there, do you think we're there?
I don't know. I think we're almost there in Afghanistan. I don't know because I don't get the reports, but in talking to Congressman Chaffetz, and I follow his view that we're approaching that point. I base that largely on the fact that he's got access to information I don't have. But I've watched his statements and I agree with his view that that's what we're there to do, is to, you know, it's not pretty, but our military isn't there to deliver flowers. They're there to do some pretty hard things that don't involve flower delivery. Right. Right. And so yeah. Okay, that one doesn't count as its own question.
Expand on Iran and North Korea and all the other places, and where we have our bases everywhere.
Yeah. Well, first of all, we have lots of bases. We have hundreds and hundreds of bases around the world. I can't help but think that there's a lot of waste in that. I'm not one who says that we have to shut down every base or even most of our bases, but something tells me that the hundreds of bases we have outside the United States are way more than we need. And the personnel that we have stationed permanently in South Korea are way too many. So, yeah.
We have two people that have been recently asked
Oh.
a long time, so maybe we can get this man's question and this woman's question.
Okay, yes. Okay. Yes, sir.
Follow up on the military. How would you reconcile your view with what's happening in North and South Korea over the last 45 years? Should we have been there, or should we have pulled out 35 or 40 years that? They're stationed in South Korea. Just ask the question.
Some of that has to do with, I need to become more familiar with these treaties. I know that there are sometimes treaties that end wars that require us to have.
There is no treaty there.
In Korea?
Right.
Okay. In that case, yeah, I think at a minimum it's fair to say we've got way too many. Our personnel is far more extensive than it needs to be there. that's exactly what I'm talking about. We need to downsize and consolidate. We need to get out of some of those places. I suspect that in South Korea, it might not be a bad idea to keep some presence there because we have kind of a whack job up there in Kim Jong-il. He scares me to death, and that can get ugly quickly. But I don't think we need as much of a presence there as we have. Yes, ma'am.
I apologize if you've already answered this, but I'm wondering who would you support as a Republican presidential candidate? People who are kind of showing interest out there right now.
You know, I still really like Mitt Romney. I would probably lean toward him. I think he's got some chance of doing it. I question his conservative bona fides from time to time. I hope I can trust him, but I think he's better. He's a heck of a lot better than Tim Pawlenty, who I regard as sort of the milquetoast. I'm not sure what Tim Pawlenty stands for, and Mike Huckabee is, I think, a traitor to the conservative cause in many respects, so I don't like him. Among the likely contenders right now, I think Romney is probably the best answer.
Sarah Palin, what are your feelings?
I don't think she can do it. I really don't. When I first heard her speak, my wife and I were at the National Convention when she made her debut speech, and I thought it was fantastic. I thought she did a great job, and I started thinking that she was America's answer to Margaret Thatcher. I don't. In subsequent events revealed that.
To be done.
Hey, I'm here with Greg, who's on Mike's staff,
right.
whatever that means.
Jack of all
So
trades.
put her there, buddy.
Doing whatever needs to be
Yeah?
done, and it's a
Whatever
pleasure to
needs
meet
to be
you.
done.
yeah.
So do you go like north and south and anywhere?
Every
it goes?
event.
You're,
Yep.
you're the muscle.
That's right. That's right. The bodyguard. So
Hired goon extraordinaire.
I don't know about
Do you get
good.
any money?
I do not.
You're a volunteer.
Entirely volunteer, full-time volunteer.
Well, you're all right.
So,
Now,
I'm a
what
student
I
at,
need to ask you, sorry, you're a student at where?
student at UCLA Law School, taking a break for now so I can help Mike out on his campaign. So
All right.
happy to be able to do that.
Well, if there's anything the world needs, it's more lawyers. No, and I'm dead serious. Maybe that'll drive the price down,
There you go.
right?
There you go. Market economy.
I think we need 10 times as many lawyers.
We
Then
need
it'll only
good
be
ones,
like
though.
$15 an hour.
Yeah.
So anyway, tell me what's good about Mike.
Well, Mike, we have a lot of momentum right now. We've been incredibly encouraged. People are responding to the return to limited government, keeping government within the bounds that the Constitution has laid out. And people are really resonating with that message. I think particularly with the health care bill that was passed a few weeks ago, people are ready for a change. And Mike's capable to do that. With his experience in the legal arena and especially with Justice Alito on the Supreme Court, I think Mike has an intimate understanding of exactly how Washington works and what needs to be done to get things back on track.
And nailed it. Thanks
you.
a lot, Greg. Nice to meet you. And go.
When Mike is gone and our family misses him, we like him, but we miss him as well. I want you to know what he has said to me and to my children, and that is this. When I am not home, it's because I am doing, I'm not just saying what needs to be done. Remember that there are soldiers, there are missionaries, there are many people who have to go out when the time is right to stand for the things that are important. It isn't always about being home and talking. It's about going and doing. Please understand that.